They say there's a lot of unemployment in your state,
Yes, sir.
Haryana. How would you do away with unemployment?
India and Pakistan is going to war. Can women go there and fight on the border as part of the infantry?
How does it aid providing good services through CISF?
How has the role of women in the armed forces changed from say 10 years back?
So tell me, what is the significance, mythological, spiritual, religious significance of Kailash Mansarovar?
India-Pakistan relationship. What is the position of China on this Pulwama killing and the ongoing crisis with India-Pakistan?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please come in.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Please be seated, huh?
Thank you, sir.
Shiksha, you got a wonderful name.
Thank you, sir.
Huh? What does Shiksha mean?
So, Shiksha is a Sanskrit word which means education and instruction. And it is also taken from the six of Vedanta, where it particularly refers to pronunciation of Vedic text.
Be slightly loud so that we are able to appreciate what
Okay,
you're trying
sir.
to say. Slightly loud. Huh?
So, Shiksha is taken from the Sanskrit word which means education and instruction. And it is also one of six Vedanta, where it refers to the pronunciation of Vedic text.
Right. So, do you also teach? They say, if you teach, you learn more.
Oh,
Do you agree with this adage?
sorry, sir.
If you teach, you learn more.
I'm not able to understand, sir.
If you teach, you learn more.
Okay, sir.
Do you agree with this adage?
Yes, sir.
Just tell us something about this.
So, so it means that when we teach other people, we are able to share our knowledge to them, and in this way, we are able to enhance. If we say share something with other people, we are sharing some part of our own knowledge, and the other person, he will also be sharing some part of their knowledge. So in this way, this will be exchange of knowledge, boost our
So it will have a snowball impact,
yes, sir.
right? So you have mentioned spending time with family.
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
Sir, I belong to a joint family, and in my family, I have my grandparents, my cousin, and my uncle, aunt. So in this way, I really like to cherish every small moment that I spend with them, like having a dinner together, spending the festival together, going out together. So these are the small moments that I consider as a spend.
So what do you gain from this, or what are the takeaway? What message would you like to give to your peers and to the younger generation?
Sir, I think joint family is a very boon for individual, because if I talk at my personal level, it has helped me to grow as an individual, to become much more responsible and a matured person. It taught me values like sharing, brotherhood, celebrating each other's success, and standing together in time of difficulty. So I think that the joint family help in individual growth.
But the generation, I'm not talking about your generation and my generation, but all said and done, people say no joint family. Be independent, be solo. That's the flavor of the season. So how do you react to your statement, or how are you going to market your statement in that case?
So I think that although today's generation is moving towards nuclear family, but in India, in Indian society, the joint family has remained it's one of the root society, like in its root, especially in the rural areas. People still prefer the joint family, and if even talk about the modern society, even we are not joined in terms of living under the same shelter, but we are connected through the video calls, through the online platforms. So I think that we are joined in some way in this way.
Yeah, but do you really believe in the rural areas now? People want to stay in a joint situation. Are you
So,
sure about it?
like I have been living in
No,
rural.
you've been living that's something very unique, in fact, But even I find in villages also now people want to want to be totally independent.
So it can be in the way that because of financial independency, and for the issue of privacy, but I think that still people in a rural area because of the social belongingness, they prefer in the joint family.
Acha, one last question. They say there's a lot of unemployment in your state,
Yes, sir.
Haryana. How would you do away with unemployment?
So the major reason behind unemployment in Haryana is the disguised unemployment because of stagnation of agriculture sector, and there's a less employable skill possessed by the youth.
Beg your pardon?
Less employable skill, like
Yes.
employable, like the skill which is required in the market and skill possessed by the youth. So there's a mismatch between this. Apart from this, especially the Haryana youth, they are more inclined to join the government job. So I think
What is so great about a government job?
so because of sense of financial security and social prestige.
There's so much of money in the private sector. What financial security are we talking about?
Sir, in Haryana, going in the government job is a sense of financial, like a sense of social prestige, because it creates a long-term financial security of 60 years service. Apart from this, the pension service is also given by the government.
Pension? Government has forgotten the pension,
Like
Are you aware that pensions have been done away with since the year 2004? And then you have a new pension scheme.
yes, sir.
So pension not there.
Okay, sir. I will.
Anyhow, doesn't matter. Please go ahead.
So I think that we need to rectify these loopholes. We need to provide the necessary skill to the youth, which is required in the 21st century, and the government is actively working towards it by opening the ITI center, the schemes like Saksham Yuva Yojana, the Haryana Kaushal Vikas Yojana, Skill Development Mission. So I think that in the coming time, the unemployment can be dealt in Haryana.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Shiksha. So you're from Gargi College.
Yes, sir.
Is it difficult to get admission to Gargi College?
So I don't think it is difficult because it depends upon the merit of a person.
So what was the cutoff in your time?
So I had 95 percentile in my in the school time, and I got admission in the first list
First
itself.
cutoff list.
Yes, sir.
So that's a commendable achievement. Okay, tell me something about Gargi College, just 5 sentences.
So Gargi College is one of the prestigious college of Delhi University. It was established in 1964, and it is an all-women college, and it derived its name from the Gargi, which was the famous scholar and philosopher of the ancient Vedic time, and she is known for her philosophical discourse with Yajnavalkya. And Gargi College provide the education in different streams like mathematics, the science, commerce stream.
So what do you like the most about your college?
So I like the environment of the college, because since we are it was an all-women girl college, so we had a strong bonding with each other. We shared very jolly moment with each other.
As a basketball team captain
Yes, sir.
in the school,
Yes, sir.
tell me one great achievement of yours.
So first is that I was able to represent my school at a state level. Apart from this, we also won bronze medal in the CBSE cluster. So these were two major achievements of my career.
And at least one challenge that you faced while being the captain
Being captain,
during your captaincy.
so being a captain, the challenge major was like in my team, like players were from the different classes. They were having a different opinion. So bringing together on the same ground was one of the little bit difficult task, but was being resolved in meanwhile.
Okay, right. Why do we need a lot of women in the CIS?
So because,
Reservation has been given up to 33%. In years to come, it will be 33% women in CIS. Why do we need so many of them?
so we need women representation because participation of women will bring diversity in decision making. This will create an inclusive environment, and this will be a strong step towards women empowerment, because this will create role model and they can inspire other women to join the forces. So I think it will create a ripple effect in society.
How does it aid providing good services through CISF?
Sorry, sir.
How can CISF render better services by having greater number of women?
So in the same way, like having a greater number of women will diversify the decision making process of
Yeah, that's okay. Otherwise, on ground while you are performing duties, what will happen?
okay, sir. So, like with women participation on the field activity, the women were easily able to communicate with the local population, because in their approach they follow more apathy and compassion, and I think it become an easier way to communicate with the people, and they are able to resolve the problem in a much better way.
Will men not take offense to this?
So I think both are doing the same. Both are doing a good approach, but women possess more the kind of motherly role and apathy in their approach.
Okay, let me accept your. Okay. Now, India and China have agreed to resume Kailash Mansarovar Yatra from June onwards.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what is the significance, mythological, spiritual, religious significance of Kailash Mansarovar?
So Kailash Mansarovar Yatra has its own religious, economical, and political significance.
Not that. Religious, mythological, and spiritual significance of Kailash Mansarovar.
So, talking from the mythological perspective, the Kailash mountain belonged to the Lord Shiva, where he performed his meditation. And it is believed that in the Vedic period and in the present time also, several rishis they perform the meditation and do tapasya in that region. And I think that doing the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra will boost the economic growth between both the
No, I'm not talking. Confine your answer up to spiritual, religious, mythological.
So spiritual, religious, and mythological. So I think it would be like the answer that I gave earlier, that from the spiritual, from the mythological perspective, it was a home to the Lord Shiva, and from the spiritual perspective, several rishis they perform the tapasya in that region. So I think this is the spiritual and mythological significance.
All right. And what about circumambulating Kailash?
Sorry,
What
sir.
happens with that? Parikrama of Kailash, 52 kilometers.
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware of this.
Okay. And what about Mansarovar Lake?
Yes, sir. So it is a Mansarovar lake in Tibetan region of China, and like I doesn't know about the its mythological significance, but its geographical significance is that the Indus River originates from this Mansarovar lake.
Then, no, I'm not talking of religious part.
Sorry, sir. I doesn't know the
thank you.
religious significance.
You had a very tough day. You played basketball, you are tired, you want to retire, sleep. All of a sudden, your teammate come to you. Let's have fun, let's go for a movie. And you're pretty tired, you want to sleep. And early morning, you have a practice again.
Sir, if my teammate is so first I will try to answer him कि अगर मैं थकी हुई हूँ so that I can't attend this. But if he really pushes me to go for the movie night, then I will go with him, and I will follow my schedule as per the next day.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Tell me about the increasing role of women in the Indian armed forces.
So, government has taken various initiative to promote the women participation in the armed forces, like the NDA has taken, and women are also participating in combat role. So, I think that the women increasing participation will create an inclusive environment, and this will depict the Nari Shakti in the modern day era, and this is a this will be a great step towards achieving the gender equality.
In concrete terms, tell me, how has the role of women in the armed forces changed from, say, 10 years back?
So,
Say, what are the posts they can hold? What is the kind of
okay, sir.
facilities they have?
So from from 2015, the first major step taken by government was involvement of women in the combat role. Like women were considered as a fighter role, like Avni Chaturvedi, Bhavna Kant. Then after in 2020, the women were allowed in the permanent commission through the NDA. Then after in 2023, women were recruited in the through the Agnipath scheme, and over the period of time, the women has made a significant progress, and the representation in the armed forces has also increased.
So, can they hold command posting? Do they get command posting?
Women get
Hmm.
So I'm not able to get.
Okay. Can you said combat?
Yes, sir.
Can women go and fight on the border?
Yes, sir. Sir, there's one example. Captain Shiva Chauhan. She has become the first woman to be deployed in the Siachen Glacier. That is the largest battlefield of India. So I believe that if woman has a
Siachen Glacier is not a regular combat. Say, suppose India and Pakistan is going to war. Can women go there and fight on the border as part of the infantry?
I think, sir, yes, it can. They can go if women possess. If women,
You check that. Read on that.
so right now they are not allowed.
No.
I'm saying that they are not allowed, but they should go.
Okay.
I'm saying that
I'm talking about what is allowed.
no, sir. Right now, women are not allowed in the combat roles.
So tell me something about your preference is CISF.
Yes, sir.
What is the role? How it started? What is the mandate?
So CISF was founded on 10th of July 1969, and it has a motto of security and protection. It was mainly formed to protect the India's critical infrastructure like nuclear power plant, the the headquarters of ISRO, metro station, airport, and it also provide security to some of the VIPs in the time of in the time of emergency. And so this is the.
Recently, its mandate has also been extended in new area. Can you point that?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of this.
And CISF, has it had any women chief?
So I'm not aware of CISF, but I think there was in SSP there was a woman chief.
All right. Now, last question I'll ask you. India-Pakistan relationship. What is the position of China on this Pulwama killing and the ongoing crisis with India-Pakistan?
So China has always remained a supportive partner to the Pakistan, but in the recently occurred the Pahalgam attack, China has not officially declared its support to Pakistan, but China has China has declared to conduct the impartial investigation of this incident and extending its support to Pakistan for carrying out counter-terrorism operation.
All right. So it is supporting Pakistan.
Sir, officially they are not supporting directly to Pakistan, but it is promoting the impartial investigation in this incident, which is against the humanity.
All right. Thank you.
Shiksha, our interaction with you is formally over. We'll give you some feedback.
Okay, sir.
So,
Shiksha, firstly, you're well dressed. You're well dressed.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And your pleasant personality. And I find that you're pretty articulate. You can express very well. And quite exuding energy and enthusiasm. Presence of mind. You applied it and quick on the uptake and quick on the cues. And you're pretty stable. So these are some certain good points I noticed about you. Then newspaper, though I didn't ask you much from the newspapers, but connected thing like Mansarovar thing, which came in the paper today. In such questions, suppose they say that from June onwards, Mansarovar Yatra will commence, Kailash Mansarovar. Then you will read everything associated with it.
Okay, sir.
Paper will only tell you that Mansarovar's Yatra begins. Let's see. But then you must be curious to know where is Kailash Mansarovar, location, what are the difficulties reaching there, what is the procedure, what is the significance of Mansarovar to begin with, why people are scrambling to go there,
Okay, sir.
why only a few can go. So all those questions related to Mansarovar you must also prepare in your mind.
Okay, sir.
Write it down and prepare. Likewise, any other topic also. Okay, thank you.
please.
Well, Shiksha, I think you are a very good candidate. I would just suggest a couple of things. One is that keep updating yourself.
Okay, sir.
And read more about the various Central Armed Police Forces. Do remember who are the heads. If there have been women head, CISF has had Nina Singh
No, yes.
Okay, recently. So also the mandate, Parliament now is also under CISF, their security. So what you need to do is to follow the ongoing security related development both internally, whether it is uh, declining influence of the left-wing extremism, Naxal, how many districts, when is the government deadline to end this menace, and role of the women in armed forces. They're not directly into combat yet. Command posting means holding the colonel level when you command. That is allowed. All right. So these are big achievements. Permanent commission you did mention. So I would suggest that more preparation you do, more knowledge you'll have, and you will be able to bring out the issue in a bullet points note. If you don't have those information, then you tend to, elaborate. That is one. Second is speak a little bit slowly.
Okay, sir.
You can't change your style, but little bit fast, because generally elderly people will be on the board. So you should make impact with whatever you say. The points you are trying to make should register with them. Third is that read the newspaper and look at your dad, your background, your Gargi college, your subject, basketball, and pick up some 20-30 important topics and make bullet points. Then you look at, I told you, security, internal and external, the topic, bullet points note, challenges, what the government is doing, what can be the possible solution. And then when you answer, you will be able to answer them briefly, to the point, and you will have a nuanced answer to everything. Okay, so while you are good, you still have a lot of time when new developments will come. So you need to prepare. That is your mantra. Best of luck.
In your case, that double Shiksha, your mother is also in the teaching profession.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So you should know about Shiksha per se, education per se, and especially with reference to the education of women. You must also have some data, etc. That I think is very important, because all of us are in Shiksha and then start with that. Although this will not continue for a very long time, but still. When you mentioned about Shiksha, you said it is one of the 6 tenets of Vedanta, etc.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest, I do not know how good are you, especially in Indian mythology and in scriptures, but in case you are not, then I think references to Vedanta, etc. should not be given.
Okay, sir.
You have to make, I'm not going to judge for that for
Okay,
you.
sir.
Because all of a sudden, if there's somebody who is interested in scripture and he starts getting into that and to start faltering, because see, ultimately it is a very serious study, So you take a call yourself, right? Then of course I asked you something about your home state also. I think I asked about unemployment. I did ask you, and then of course the female practice side, etc. Have that data. Only recently, a week back, or maybe 10 days back, as many as 300 abortion clinics have been shut down. All those things. You read the newspaper regularly and following the incidents and the events in Haryana and in India. You're doing that?
Yes, sir.
Right. What newspapers do you read?
The Hindu.
The Hindu, right? So anyhow, so keep a track on those things also. And then of course, the situation is very fluid at this point of time, both nationally and internationally.
Yes, sir.
So see how things, and being from Haryana, with a lot of people have a lot of craving to be in the army, in the defense forces, and also in the paramilitary forces, and in the army and police, etc. So be very clear about these things. You are a very good candidate, and we do expect you to be doing well, right?
Yes, sir.
But there is one problem, especially in your speech delivery. I think the words tend to get a bit jumbled. When is the interview, by the way?
5th of May.
5th of, कोई बात नहीं है, 5th of May भी है ना. थोड़ा सा आप शीशा के सामने खड़े होकर के थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस कर लीजिए, और थोड़ा सा ये रिकॉर्डिंग भी कीजिए. We are going to give you the link, so you'll be able to realize I mean, we've also been saying, we also to crane neck ahead कि भाई क्या बोल रही हो हम भी समझ रहे हैं. Not only the disciple of your speech, but at the same time, perhaps the things tends to get a bit into it.
Yes, sir.
You can't do much, but once you're alert, so things will work out in your way. So, and then of course you also mentioned spending some time with the family.
Yes, sir.
So you should be able to answer briefly. Don't get into too much of what benefit does it accrue, right?
So how to answer that
No,
question?
see, we started talking about joint family. See, the truth actually is, even the villages now, nobody wants to stay in a joint family. That is the truth of the matter. I do not know the south, but the north I can tell you. Again, I don't know about northeast. But generally speaking, as education is coming up, as economic independence, as you also mentioned, so if people want to stay.
Okay.
आज शादियां होती हैं, कल से बोलते हैं आप अपना अपना रोटी पकाओ बैठ करके. That's a hard fact of life, you know. But then the lessons I think are very important that you say, and which I think is very pertinent. Ki whatever people might think, but joint family also has some advantage. At least the human baby is taken care of. The values are nurtured.
Yes.
Values are nurtured. Otherwise, now there's nobody to guide you. The other day, I was having a discussion with my wife, you know, and she was watching some, what you call, there's a Baba about whom, very interestingly, in fact. Now she says, that's a very pertinent comment. She says, अब तो बच्चों को गाइड करने वाले कोई, बच्चों मीन्स योर एज, उनको ये बताना पड़ता है कि माता पिता को बाबा अच्छा फूड बना हुआ है, and he's saying there are people who are asking, old people also new or younger generation also, हमें क्या करना है. वो बाबा जी कह रहे हैं आप अपने माता पिता की आदर करो, माता पिता की मदद करो, उनके हाथ बटाओ. Now these are an accepted thing, but people don't even know these things now, because there's nobody to teach them what, I'm not talking values, but what ought to be done.
Yes.
Because the family system has totally broken. So nobody knows what is the norm. And then old ladies are saying, one old lady was saying, I don't know, my children not listening to me. The old person said, मुझे कोई मदद नहीं कर रहा है. So it's a very situation very fluid. But there are certain good things about the joint family. There's some bad things also with joint family. So the basic issue is that social interaction is no more there. People are not talking to each other. People are talking through the mobiles, but nobody wants a human interface. So anyhow, these are challenges, you know. So that you have mentioned. So what I suggest is, जो values जो हैं, जो आप कहना चाह रहे हो कि you are deriving, तो उसको ऐसे don't try to stay off the cuff. Prepare so that you are able to hit the main points rather than getting into a longish talk.
Yes, sir.
तो एक दो पॉइंट बोलेगा नहीं ठीक है जानते हैं no let's go ahead.
Okay,
That's how it works out, you know. Be prepared. Even 7-8 days is more than sufficient. You'll do well. Any question that you'd like to ask us?
So like sometimes in nervousness, I literally tend
No,
to.
you're not nervous. See, it's not a question of being nervous, you know. If you know the things, you'll not be nervous. If you do not know the things, you'll be nervous. Accept it.
I tend to speak fast in that nervousness. So
आप practice करना पड़ता है.
okay.
Not an issue, but see actually what happens now. If you are able to communicate well, you know, it also means whether you're audible or not audible. It also means whether you understand, whether you're able to appreciate you or not. This is all a part of communication, basically. If the communication is fundamentally more clear, then I think it makes a much more visible impact. But otherwise, there's no case to be worried about. थोड़ा practice करके कर लिया तो बहुत सारी चीजें control में आ जाएगी. Not that you cannot make fundamental changes. Let's be very clear about
So
it.
this one question,
please.
like sometimes a question, I'll tend to I to end the question very abruptly.
End the answer very abruptly.
Yes, sir. उसमें smooth ending नहीं होती उसके अंदर. Despite knowing the answer.
आप अपना आराम से बोलो, but you think that you are having a natural conversation with people, in fact, you know.
Okay.
But that conversation needs to be brief and pointed,
Okay, sir.
right?
Okay, sir.
तैयारी करो, लिख कर तैयारी करो, you will have the main points, you know, so that you have a priority of points.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.